Hello there my fellow holotable heroes, hope you're ready for some cheese because I do have quite a lot for it today. As always, you're able to find this and all my other conquest video guides on my SWGOH for Life website. If you haven't seen it yet, go and check it out, there'll be a link in the description below. So let's say you made it all the way through, finally through to the sector 5, and now you have to go back in each sector, farm more feeds. You have some global feeds as well to finish off, and you want to find a way to easily cheese those and as well farm some Datacron material along the way. You've come to the right place. I've got all of that and more in today's video. So I'll be using two data disk sets. I actually done the data disk video yesterday already, so if you're interested in details about the data disk set that I'll be using today, there'll be a link in the description below to that video, so go ahead and check it out. I'll be making use of both data disk set, so both stone skin, primarily stone skin data disk set is actually better for cheesing and farming, and then on a couple of occasions I'll be using the overzealous data disk as well. So overall, overzealous data disk is maybe a little bit more powerful in terms of just playing through the nodes. However, when it comes to farming and cheesing, especially with low gear units, then stone skin will be a better option here for you. As always, you will see on the screen displaying what data disks are equipped for each of the battles. So first off, I'll just start off with sector 1, and I'll be going through 1, 2, 3, 4 all the way to 5, just showing you some of the feeds that you may need to finish off now that you came all the way through to sector 5, and some of the global feeds along the way. And whatever possible, I'll try to utilize the Datacron nodes here, so you can also earn some Datacron material along the way. So let's first kick off against the bounty hunters here on the Datacron node in sector 1. So here we got feat where you have to apply Purge 300 times. So if you haven't done it yet, you can do this with Malak and voluntarily Vanguard. He'll get mark on him, and then bounty hunters will go fear themselves, and then you can just get to town with them with the whole turn meter train rolling because of Palpatine lead. Now 2 of my Inquisitors there are gear 8, but because of the stone skin data disk, they have lots of survivability even at gear 8, so they can survive the initial plays. And then you've got your stuns going, you get your debuffs flowing, and before you know it, they will have a lot of Purge already. So whenever you can, obviously consume Purge, because when it reaches 6 stacks you won't be able to apply anymore, and then the count for the feat will stop. As well, their Boba and Django, obviously they will revive when they're defeated, so that's also one way of getting rid of 6 stack of Purge. So moving on to another feat here in sector 1 that will take a little bit longer, so that's the torture one. Now I don't have Grand Inquisitor, so for me the only way to apply torture is with using 000. Personally, I'll be skipping this feat because I don't need it, but if you do want it, again, you can use it here versus bounty hunters using stone skin data disk. Same thing as the Inquisitor battle. Bounty hunters will just fear themselves, hitting Malak, and then you can just slowly work your way through all the bounty hunters. The thing is, like, if you want to save stamina, you actually don't need to win the battle. You can just let it time out and you can go back in, and it will still count the amount of tortures you applied, but obviously you won't be earning the Datacron material, so you can then maybe do this on an easier node if you're not planning to farm. I personally don't like timing out. I rather win and use that energy to get some Datacron materials as well, but it's really down to you. So here with Sortie, obviously she's only gear 8, as well as the other droids BT1 and 000. They're both gear 8 as well. But they were able to survive long enough here because of the stone skin data disk, because here as well on critical hits we got some protection recovery because of the critical formation data disk. But I think in total I was able to apply torture 4 times in this battle. Alright, so let's move on to sector 2 now, farm some feats here. So let's just kick off versus the mini boss node here. So this is like if you are actually going for the global feat for the Inquisitors, full Inquisitor battles, and you don't have high gear Inquisitors, I think hitting this mini boss node here in sector 2 is a good option. Again, using stone skin data disk set or overzealous. I'll show you also a battle with overzealous. Both work. Now these guys, they do have a lot of AoEs, but as you can see, they're barely doing any damage to even some of my lower gear Inquisitors. So even I think with gear 8 Inquisitors, you should be able to pull this off. Just slowly. I just hit autoplay at some point because these battles take a while. Luckily it's a 10-minute battle, so you don't really have danger of timing out. Eventually you will get these guys down quite easily. Okay, so this is now using the overzealous data this set just to show you as well. It's good enough also because their 5th brother and I think 7th sister, they're both support, so they'll be actually doing, I've seen them crit for around even 40k as well, so they'll be able to burn through these guys quite quickly. So even if you got low gear Inquisitors, you can now farm here on this node the kills for obviously sector 2 feat, where you have to defeat enemies with Inquisitors, as well as the full Inquisitor battles for the global feat if you're going up against. Now, if you are like me and you're just simply ignoring the global Inquisitor feat, but you do want to get here this feat where you have to defeat 50 enemies with Inquisitors, then instead of the mini boss, actually the final boss battle is a better one, because these guys, they have revives, so whenever they reach these 10 stacks of this blue buff on them, they will revive a random bounty hunter. So this gives you more than only 5 units to defeat. So in this case, better hit this node. You'll probably be able to defeat like 10 enemies per battle instead of, 5 on maybe the mini boss node. Again, using here stone skin data disc set with Malak, he constantly is keeping them feared, and then the other guys are just slowly working their way through. Also with Malak, if you do need, sometimes you can drain somebody so you can then finish them off with an Inquisitor. So you can see I'll just be running the clock almost all the way down, defeating them. Every now and then they revive somebody. So definitely that's I think a better node to cheese the kills here with Inquisitors if you don't need a full Inquisitor team. So now we're sector 3, so let's just go ahead and hit the Night Sister Datacron node so we can earn some material while farming the feats along the way. So here in sector 3 we have to feat where we have to defeat 50 enemies with Imperial Troopers. Again, using stone skin data disc, putting Mark over on Malak, he'll just keep these sisters feared. Then your troopers get going, and you should be good to go here once they get rolling the Terminator train. There we go, got Talzin down. Oh, not quite, there she goes. And then we're just gonna go after Saj next, because she's not ability block. We don't want her getting a turn and dispelling our buffs, removing turn meter. There we go, Saj down, just a case of finishing off the remaining Night Sisters. So this is very easy way here to get Empire kills here and earn some Datacron materials along the way. Now probably the most challenging feat is the Master's Training. You have to actually apply Master's Training 50 times. Now the moment is bugged, so every time you apply it, it counts as 7, but I expect this to be fixed for the next iteration of Conquest. In that case, this could be a very grindy feat. However, there is a way to cheese it. For example, I was able to quite easily get this going versus Geos, but maybe some other nodes as well will work. Anyway, let me show you how it will work. So you use your Night Sisters, and obviously Hermit Yoda, he puts a Master's Training over on Night Sister Zombie, and when Zombie is defeated, Hermit Yoda will gain 100% turn meter, and he'll be able to reapply Master's Training on her, and you'll just be kind of stuck in a loop. Geo is constantly taking out Zombie, and you're constantly reapplying the Master's Training. The reason why I think Geos constantly keep going after Zombie, because at the moment they have to, because of the mark on her. And then generally AI with Geos, they always like to go whoever is the lowest health and protection. So I think if you got a paper zombie, this might be even easier to cheese. You could even be able to get more. But as you can see, I got Master Training on Zombie, and as soon as I take her down, mine's Relic 5, so she's quite durable actually. It'll take them a while. Come on, somebody get her down. Just want to use basic. I don't want to win this battle. I just want to drag it out as long as I can. There we go, Zombie defeated. Yoda gaining 100% turn meter. He puts Master's Training back on her, and then they'll take her out again. There we go. Yoda gets another turn, applies Master's Training again. So it's a pretty much kind of a loop here. Again, if you have Paper Zombie, I think they'll be killing her more frequently. You'll be able to get a lot more instances of Master's Training than I was. I think in total I got about 10 instances, I think, here in one battle. So once we need to do this properly, you're probably looking at about 5 cheesy battles like this. Maybe there's a better enemy to do this up against, but from the notes I think I was given here in this sector, the Geo seemed the best way to farm this. That's it, just running the clock down. You can just go ahead, time out. You're not trying to win here, and that as well completes Master's Training quite easily. All right, if you don't have enough cheese, let's hop over to Sector 4. Tusker node is actually a great way to cheese many feats just because they don't have AoEs. And then you can use Stone Skin Data Disk to cheese many things here. So obviously we've got this feat where we have to win with the full rebel teams. I'll show you 3 different rebel teams actually with Mon Mothma. So what you want to do is use again Stone Skin Data Disk, and then you want to mod your bigs to have the highest health and protection in your team. Then he gets marked, and then they will have to keep hitting him because they've got no AoEs, no way around getting the mark on him. And whenever he's critically hit, he gains 100% turn meter. And then, you know, he goes, everybody a call to assist because he's a rebel fighter bigs. So then you can quickly kind of cheese your way through. Same thing with CLS. Again, make sure that bigs is the tankiest, and you can do the same thing here. And they'll hit bigs, he gets 100% turn meter, and so on. So you can kind of get stuck in the loop with bigs constantly attacking. He's got an ability that can call an ally to assist as well, so you should be able to quickly get through these guys. So again, CLS can make use of this cheese as well, so you can earn some nice Datacron materials while you farming the rebels feed here. It's definitely easy way to cheese here with bigs. Another great team here to cheese if you do want to have Farmnobi and Leinobi feat is Padme, Leia, Old Ben and Farm Boy Luke. Even if they're very low gear, it doesn't matter. 5's there constantly taunting because of Padme lead. He can't be critically hit when he has protection up. He will resist all the debuffs. He's constantly counter-attacking. Every time he counterattacks, remember we're getting 4% stacking offense. Whenever he critically hits, he's recovering protection. So he's basically unkillable. So it's an easy way there to farm a lot of these Farmnobi, Leinobi feats. Here as well, earning some Datacron materials along the way. Also in Sector 4 we have a feat for no attackers and Imperial troopers. So for this you will want to switch over to the overzealous data disk, and here we go with troopers. All of these guys are support, and then obviously Piet, whenever his allies are hit, he's getting bonus turn meter, so he will quickly get a turn. You can get your buffs going, you can start taking these guys out, and then your turn meter trains rolling. And because of zealous ambition data disk, you can see we're doing like 200-300k hits on a basic on some of these guys, so you can very quickly get rid of them once you get going, completing Imperial troopers as well as no attackers feat in the process, and obviously earning all those valuable Datacron materials here in Sector 4. So we've got another rebel team. If you do have Redis, he's great. Unfortunately, we don't really have a good 5th no attacker here in Rogue One. Well, at least I don't have them leveled up, so just put Hera in there. She's support, she's not Rogue One, but doesn't even matter. These guys will be able to carry this. I mean, Redis with zealous ambition data disk, he's an absolute beast. Like his AoE is doing a lot of damage, and eventually you do get these guys down, again completing the no attackers feat, rebels feat, and as well earning some Datacron material along the way. It's definitely a good node here to cheese a lot of these feats just because these guys do not have AoEs. Alright, let's hop over to Sector 5 now. Again, farming those bounty hunter feats is going to be probably what we need to do the most here in Sector 5. So let's just start off with this versus Jedi here on Sector 5 node. Again, making use of the Stone Skin data disk. Now I'm using Dengar lead because with Dengar you have to get a contract triggered, you have to deal damage to the healthiest enemy 10 times. And because Kenobi is constantly taunting, he's the tankiest. He's better than Boss Cleat, because with Boss Cleat you might struggle to get the contract going with the perma-taunt over on Kenobi. Ahsoka Tano there, she's right now tankiest because she's got protection up and Kenobi doesn't, so I had to put a couple of hits on her. But as soon as she loses that protection up or Kenobi gains protection up, he will be again the tankiest. And then we'll go after Kenobi again. So they're getting a few turns. Malak there, keeping these guys under control with the fear and everything. Let's go ahead, heal up. Still getting stuck behind Malak. Unfortunately, they got healing immunity on him, so he's not able to recover protection. There you go, contract triggered. So whenever Mando gets a turn, which hopefully will be any minute now, we should be able to get rid of Anakin, so then Malak can shake off that healing immunity that Anakin keeps applying on him, and then he will be able to start as well recovering some protection, well, bonus protection There we go, we got healing immunity finally of our Malak, and now we can just continue going after Kenobi. He's constantly taunting. Whenever you get disintegrate again, get rid of Yoda, and then the rest should be pretty easy and straightforward from here on out. Getting 5 bounty hunter kills and getting some Datacron materials in the process along the way. Now another feat obviously can take a while here in sector 5 is the blind one, and there's a way to actually cheese a lot of blinds. I think the way I counted, I think you can do this even in a single battle if you do have this exact team. Obviously going with the Jedi look, so we reduce the enemy speed a little bit when he gets a turn. He has a blind, then Mission also blinds, Malgus blinds. All these guys have a single target blind. I think that's on like 2 or 3 turn cooldown, so they should be able to use it every 3rd turn. And then 3PO and Chewie again, I think he's got a 3 turn cooldown on his AoE blind. So basically pretty much every 3 turns you'll be landing 8 blinds. And again, using Malak here with Stone Skin data, they said they'll constantly be critting him and everything, so constantly be fearing. And luckily, like even the AoEs there from Anakin, they don't do a whole lot of damage, so you should be able to survive these even if your guys aren't relicked up. But as soon as we get going, there we go, let's go ahead, blind with Malgus. I'm going to use stun first here just to keep these guys under control. Mass blind, another blind with Mission, so it's already blind 7 times. And then also Luke as well on his special ability can use a blind as well. And you're pretty much just cycling for these blind abilities. You're not trying to defeat anybody, you're trying to keep them alive as long as possible, just so that 3PO and Chewie, obviously when he uses his AoE, he's landing 5 blinds there. But definitely you have lower gear characters, you may want to prioritize taking out Anakin and Mace so they don't potentially take somebody out. But I think you can pretty much cheese all 60 blinds in a single battle if you do stall battle long enough here. Luckily, you know, it's a 10-minute clock versus mini boss battle, so you should be able to milk this almost all the way to the end. And there we go, this actually completed blind for me. I think I needed 21 more blinds personally at this point to get the blind feat done, but according to my count, I think I've done 60 in an entire battle. So if you do have a lot of blinds to make up, you can use this team. Obviously not everybody will have Malgus, then maybe just put another character in there, doesn't matter, or just go with 4 of these, and then you should still be able to get blind quite a few times as well, because Malgus got a single target blind anyway. Alright guys, hope you've had enough cheese for today. Let me know in the comments below or on my Discord server how you guys are getting on in Conquest. Hope you find this video useful and helpful. Thank you for watching, I'll see you on the next one, but until then, have fun, enjoy life, and may the RNG be with you, my friends.